Today, we're going to be talking about how you can actually find clients. This is really for anybody that's in the music industry and wants to directly connect with people that have the ability to do business with them. I'm going to be talking about free platforms today. We're going to be speaking about a platform called Apollo. We're going to be speaking about LinkedIn. And of course, we're going to be speaking about good old Instagram. The platform that I believe will make the biggest difference to your prospecting process is called Apollo. In my personal opinion, it is the best prospecting platform out there. The way that it works is it basically pulls in a bunch of data from loads of different sources, from LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. So in going onto a platform here, you can see that we're in the search tab. And what I'm going to do to demonstrate this is go straight to job titles. And what I'm going to do is type in music artist. You can see that there's 1.2 thousand people. Now that's not going to change our lives. So what I'm going to do is put in singer. I'm also going to put in singer songwriter. And I'm just going to leave it at that for the moment and see what we've got. So we've got roughly 18.2 thousand people. Now there is a notion here that we'll eventually run out of people to contact. But as a market size, this is actually quite substantial for us to go after. What I'm going to do is just select all of the people on this page. I'm going to save them and I'm going to save them to a custom list. And then what will happen is it will add these prospects to a list. I'll click refresh prospects and then going to go into this list on Apollo. And now we have 50 people that display themselves as being singer-songwriters or musicians. I'm going to select all of these people. I'm going to export them. And what you'll be able to notice once we actually export this data, you'll be able to see we've got their first name, last name, their email, their phone number, etc. I mean, this data is so valuable. What we're now going to do is move over to a platform called Bouncer. What Bouncer does is it pings to an email to check if that email is indeed available, ready, and being used. So what we're going to do is just click verify list. We're going to pull this list up that we just exported. And using a platform like this, we're able to verify whether the emails that we've just found on a platform like Apollo are actually contactable. Let's focus on the next platform. Let's talk about LinkedIn. So for the sake of this video, let's say that I'm going to be reaching out to, let's just do a singer-songwriter. And the first thing that will come up is people that indeed in their bio put singer-songwriter. So we've got Elle here. She seems to be very proficient on her profile. How will we actually go about contacting her? We can have a look on her contact info. Like a lot of people on LinkedIn, she isn't publicly displaying her email. But in this sense, we can find her on other social media platforms and then DM her on Instagram, for example. She might even have her email on her Instagram. Or what we can do is actually just send a connection request. I'm not going to go into this video here on using LinkedIn for the music industry. If you would like me to, then drop it down in the comments. But what I will do, if indeed that is a video that you want, is just give you a little snippet here of what it can look like. So we'll send a connection request and by God, we are going to be leaving a note. So we'll be saying, hi Elle, just came across your profile and wanted to say hi. I've been familiar with you for a short while now. I believe I actually came across you on Instagram a year ago or so. Would love to connect with a like-minded musician. Now, I'm not lying here when I say that I came across her profile, but I'm pretty sure I came across her actually when I did a music review maybe a year ago or so. And we'll send this. And then what this would look like is once she's accepted, we'll then get into a conversation with her. Very similar as the contacts that we would make for email, or even for Instagram. I mean, you can literally even send people music reviews on this platform, very similar to how you would do it on Instagram. And if you want to know what a music review is and how powerful it can be for your music production career or just your music career in general, then check my last video on it. It's on that note that I then want to move over to Instagram. So what I'm going to start this off with is simply just with a hashtag search. Now, in my opinion, hashtag searches are the weakest. And the reason that is that, I mean, you can see there's 12 million posts there. There's little control that you have, of who's posting in there. So you're going to have singer-songwriters from multiple different genres, which means that your search to find an artist for your specific genre is going to be hindered. And second to that, you may have companies and profiles and brands posting in here who aren't singer-songwriters but want to market to singer-songwriters. So in my personal opinion, they're the weakest. I would actually recommend using target pages, which I'll show you in a minute. But if you don't have any target pages and you have no clue where to start, then this might be a good place to start. Now, what's quite interesting is that one artist that I've worked with here, Aisha, if you're watching this, hello. It looks like you're trending on singer-songwriter. Well done. She's a great artist that I've worked with, and I don't need to do any research into her right now, but if I didn't know her, then indeed I would. And you can see I'm following her. In this instance, what I would do is go onto her profile, listen to her music, or not even do any of that. Just look at the quality of her profile. They put effort into their social media, and they want to make their social media be presented in a professional way, and then they'll usually do the same with their music. It's very rare that you'll have somebody that has great social media and crap music. Likewise, it's very rare that you have somebody that has crap social media and good music, because the overall experience is something that they want to curate to as high a level as possible. So what I would do in this instance is, of course, go ahead and do whatever I need to do to get Aisha's business, to get her on the phone. And really, it's from here that we can then start to do what I call recycling profiles. And recycling profiles is when we go and see who Aisha's following. And I mean, there's already a few artists here that I'm familiar with that in fact have used my company, but they come up as the first two. So if I didn't know them, I would use them. And really what I'm going to be doing here is actually just judging people based on their profile picture. Usually with artists, you'll know if they're artists because it will be, for example, as Aisha's got, a photo of her singing, or them singing. Now, I have no clue why my Instagram isn't properly loading. So in this instance where I can't scroll anymore, I'm going to go onto their profile and I'll recycle Ayana's profile. And there we go. So you've got Bib's music here. We've got I Am Gates. This person seems to be a little bit creative. I assume that they're going to be an artist. I'm going to go onto this person here. The things that I'm looking out for are colorful profile pictures, professional profile pictures, somebody that might have the word official in their tag or that sounds like an artist. Corey Bucks, for whatever reason, sounds like an artist to me. And if none of this becomes obvious to you, then you're just going to have to click on all of these profiles. So I would literally click out every single one of them and then click off the ones that aren't. Steve Marinangeli has worked with my company, so I'll click off of him, and so has Kingsley, so has Storming Norman. But Bibs here, music producer, not really going to be a fit for what for me, it would be a fit for what I'm doing. But if I was a music producer, I don't want to reach out to a music producer, so we're going to carry on. Okay, so this dude is apparently an artist. This would be one for us. Now, in terms of judging the quality of his profile, do I think that this person's going to be qualified? At the end of the day, you never know, but you can make judgments, and this is unfortunately where our parents' advice of don't judging a book by its cover doesn't work, because indeed you can. Now, what I'm going to be focusing on here is primarily two things. Number one, the narrative of their content. Are they telling a story with their content? And number two, the actual physical quality of the content. If you've got things like this where they're taking something off of their Instagram story that they wrote with the Instagram font, then personally, I would not choose to reach out to them. Now, he does have a narrative in his story, as you can see, and I haven't even had to look at any of the content here, but he seems to be particularly active. I mean, even though there's only 67 posts, but still, I mean, the dude's posting about his stuff. He's telling a story with his stuff in the sense that he's actively promoting it. He's got radio conversations here, appears to be a music video here, Instagram live stream here, but the quality of it, and I mean, even just looking at these Instagram highlights, we can tell from a distance, and if you're watching this, I Am Gates, this is no shade on you whatsoever. It's just, and if this is of use to you and you're open to constructive criticism, for me, I wouldn't personally reach out to you purely just because of, questionable quality here. And I would recommend professional music videos that you can redistribute here, photo shoots in professional studios. And, just the questionability of this flyer here, it looks a little bit cheesy to me. But nonetheless, I'm sure you've got some incredible music, and that's where things change. Because I've DM'd artists before that have turned into 4-figure clients for me, and the song has been really successful when their Instagram profile literally had like less than 10 posts. So there is something to be said here about quality versus quantity in terms of outreach. I would, in some instances, choose to reach out to him, and some I wouldn't, depending on what I'm really prioritizing. So moving on, okay, big difference here. There's a huge difference in quality of photos. I mean, just these pinned ones here. And even if you don't have much good content, like for the previous dude, I would just pin the ones that are the best content. So Sanit, I would reach out to. Well, she's got quite a few followers as well. Not that that means anything. Okay, so we've got some content here. It appears to be bedroom shot content. I would probably reach out to her, even though there's less quality content than I would enjoy. I think it's fair to say that there should be a balance between quality and quantity. And on one level, not to become too anal and not too precise about who you're reaching out to, but in the same regard, not just reaching out to anybody for the sake of it. I can probably estimate that somebody watching this will be thinking, David, do you listen to their music before you outreach to them? And the answer is no. And that may seem a little bit backwards. What happens is I wait until they've responded to listen to their music. And if for whatever reason their music turns out to be trash, you just have a good conversation, wish them on their merry way, send them some free resources, whatever it is. A very small portion of people will turn into clients in the first place. So by front loading yourself, by spending hours of time listening to records when you don't even know if they're going to be a fit for you down the road, is just insane. Now it's from here that you can either send them through an email with a music review. You've probably heard me talk a little bit about a music review in this video one too many times. So I would recommend that you check out that past video, because it's from here that you can then send your piece of outreach to then schedule a phone call with them to then mature that conversation into becoming a potential client or letting them on their merry way. The point here is to find people to send outreach to then set up a conversation with, and whether they become a client or not is purely dependent on what you discover with them on that phone call. My name's David Sinclair-Black, and I'm the managing director of a company called Sinclair Media Group. And it's our mission to help music artists and music producers turn a hobby into a full-time living. And it's through this YouTube channel that I'm documenting my process, not only helping musicians do that, but also documenting my growth and, the company that I'm growing, in the hopes that, we can all do some pretty cool stuff together. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I really look forward to seeing you in the next one. And if you enjoyed it, subscribe, drop a like, drop a comment, and I'll see you in the next one.